I don't know if I've ever been more excited to bring you a Passport Heavy episode. And a little disclaimer, I'm not actually hosting this one. It's my brother, Mr. Abnormal Fitness, Fufu Meat. And so we had a trip in December planned to go to Nigeria, Lagos. And so unfortunately, I fell sick. I didn't get to go, but my brother still went on this trip. And so all my friends were still going, my cousin Malik, my Waves crew, and so many more. And so Fuad went ahead and made this video himself. So cut him a little slack. It's not the typical Passport Heavy cinematic video, but he did an amazing job, super engaging. I said, we still need to drop this on this Passport Heavy channel. So December in Nigeria is like no other place. It's literally like one of the best places in the world to be. And so that's what my brother captured. And so I'm not gonna talk too much longer. I'm gonna let my brother take it away, and make sure you show him some love in the comments. And if you want him to host more videos, let him know in the comments. And anyways, like I said, I'm not gonna talk much longer. Fuad, take it away.
When you hear Africa, what's the first thing that you think of? My guess is that it's probably not this, it's most likely not this, and it's definitely not this. If all of your information and knowledge of Africa is coming from mainstream old school media, you're probably thinking all of Africa is like this. Well, after watching this video, you're gonna see why we are proud to call ourselves African.
Welcome to Lagos, Nigeria. I'm Malik Berry.
Something you need to know about Lagos, especially when it comes to cinema. It's freedom to
Sure you go there for me, my love. That's every man to be, for life, there for me, my love, that's every man to be,
vibe is
for
very
life,
attractive,
Girl, I go wait for you, wait for you, wait for you, wait for you. Girl, I go wait for you, wait for you, wait for you, wait for you. Even if you get boo, you get boo, you get boo.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit of Lagos.
Wait for you, I wait for you, wait for you. Girl, I go wait for you.
Lagos lit!
Alright, so before you guys actually jump into the video, I know in this whole entire video I have crust all on my lip, my shirt is dirty, there's stuff all on my face. I know this, but this video literally took me like more than a month to make, and I didn't want to have to shoot that whole thing over again and make you guys wait even longer. So I know about the crust, guys. Don't let me know in the comments, but you still can let me know, but I also know. So just letting y'all know that I know. Even if you've never been to Nigeria, I can almost guarantee you that you've at least heard, seen,
I will cook you! I will cook you!
tasted, felt, or experienced some type of Nigerian influence. So in this video, I'll be breaking down a bunch of different reasons why you need to visit West Africa, and more specifically Nigeria, in December, and why it's one of the best places in the world to be during this time of year. And so I asked the question of why Africa, West Africa, whatever you want to call it, is the best place in the world to be in December.
That the word infanti or treat for New Year, or this time of year, this celebratory holiday time, literally means party. Bronya.
Party.
It's like, makes you get all hyped up. Fantastic.
It's amazing, man. You know, it's the best place to be in the world during December. The party capital of the world during December. Amazing. It's just good vibes, non-stop.
True.
Catch up if you can.
Everyone's here and we're having fun. Turn up.
To be here on the ground and to get a sense of where we've come from and what we can do to help, as you've alluded to, I'm most excited about that because I think there's a ton that we can all do collectively to impact the content.
It's something you need to know about Lagos, especially when it comes to December. There's freedom to party. There's freedom to unleash, unwind, interact with so many people. Everything about Lagos during December is just very special. It's organic. And that's why you find most people all over the world that are Nigerians or Africa. The vibe is very attractive, very pulling, you know. And I'm sure, as you can see, you've gone around yourself and you can feel the vibe, the energy. You just want to go back home. That's the spirit. That's the spirit of Lagos in December.
So my name is Fuad Agoro. I'm a digital marketer, a digital nomad, and I've been traveling the world for the last 6 years nonstop. And this whole trip came about because of my brother Jabril. So my brother Jabril is the whole reason I've been traveling the world this last 6 years. And he's influenced so many different people around the globe in so many different ways. But one of the main ways that people know him from the outside is from his content. So we do videos all over the world. We've done videos in Colombia, Panama, Thailand, and we do it in places that have big misconceptions. So Colombia was one of the biggest ones that we did. So a lot of people were just afraid to go to Colombia because they watch Narcos and they think, oh, Pablo Escobar is still running it. I'm gonna get shot in the head if I go there. It's just cocaine and all this dangerous stuff. But we show what it's actually like. Along with all the amazing marketing work that he does, he was able to connect with some amazing people. And that was the whole reason this trip came about. So we were supposed to film this big, huge production in Lagos and going to Ghana right after. But he couldn't make it just because of some things that were going on. So I actually did the filming. So don't expect some Passport Heavy type quality here. I'm still learning. I'm still on the basics. I'm still shooting in auto. But I wanted to do my best to tell the story of Nigeria and tell the story of Lagos and tell the story of West Africa and why people tend to come home during December and why it's one of the best places in the world to be. So that's what you can expect to see in this video. And so with that being said, you know that I've traveled. I've been to places like Ukraine. I've been to Thailand, been to Indonesia. I've been to Sri Lanka. I've been to Colombia, Panama, all of these places. So you would only expect that during all of these years of travel that I would have made my way to Nigeria or at least to Africa. Well, this hasn't been the case up until this trip right now. So this trip has been pending literally my whole entire life. Both of my parents are from Nigeria, from the Lagos area. And this trip has like come and gone so many different times, but it just never happened. So I had to make sure that this trip happened this time. And oh boy, was I so glad that I made it here for this trip. And a little bit about me, I was actually born in London, England, but like I said, both of my parents are from Nigeria. So me and my brother, we were born in London. And then me, my brother, and my mom moved to Chicago. When I was about 6, my brother was about 9 years old. But obviously we still have so much family that's in Nigeria. And that's one of the big reasons that pulled me to coming there, and it's one of the main reasons that a lot of people come home during this time. And this brings me to point number 1 of why you need to visit Lagos during December, and that is family.
Out here with the famo. It's been too long.
Yeah?
Been too long. Out here.
Now, even if you're not Nigerian, even if you have no ties to a Nigerian family, I'm sure you have at least one friend or one person that you know that is. And that's all you really need in order to have a good time here in December. Being the 7th most populated country in the world, you can only imagine the type of influx of people that comes into this amazing land during this time. In December, Lagos is insane, it's nuts. Literally everyone and their mama is home in Lagos during December, and you can tell by the traffic. So my cousin Akeem actually picked me up from the airport. I called him before. I'm like, yo, I don't know what's going on here. I was a little nervous. I heard all these stories about customs and how they're gonna try to take your money and all this stuff. So I'm like, yo, you gotta meet me at the airport. But the crazy thing was, like on my last leg, going to Lagos, flying into Lagos, I had a stopover in Dubai, and I'm walking up to the line, about to get in line to board the plane, and I'm just looking, I'm like, oh snap, Nancy? So my friend Nancy, who I met obviously through my brother Jabril, she was getting on the same flight, and I'm like, what, you going to Lagos? You go to Lagos? We go to Lagos? Like, it was so crazy. We were on the same flight at the same time and had no idea about it. So Nancy has done so many amazing things. She's worked for some of the biggest companies in the world. But the dopest thing about her is how cool she is. Like, she's one of the most down-to-earth people you ever meet. So I just had such good energy going into Lagos, knowing like one of my really good friends was gonna be there at the exact same time randomly. Even though it's super random that me and Nancy happened to be on the same flight flying into Lagos and we had no idea, it's so likely that you will run into someone that you know if you go to Lagos in December or West Africa in December. It's just that everyone is there. Like, so many people I ran into that I had no idea that were coming, that I've met all over the world, and I just happened to meet up with them because we're in Lagos in December. So me and my cousin Akeem, we're chilling in Lekki Phase 1 for the night, which is a really nice neighborhood in Lagos, until my superstar cousin Malik Berry was coming into town the next day because he had a show in a different country that day. I forgot exactly where it was, but he was doing a show out of town and he was coming back the next day. So if you don't know who my cousin is, obviously he's my cousin first and foremost, but most people know him because of his musical talent. So he's a big producer and he's also his own artist. He has some of the biggest hits in the world, and he's definitely one of the biggest Afrobeats artists in the world. So you can only imagine the type of energy that he attracts when he's here in Nigeria, and more specifically Lagos. So that brings me to the second reason of why you need to visit West Africa, or more specifically Lagos, that I'm talking about in this video during December, and that is the homecoming. So everyone and their mama is coming home during this time, and with all of these people, you can only expect to have some superstars and some really influential people coming home. So it's not just parties and family that people are coming down to Lagos in December for. People are actually coming down here to make things happen and to network. And I was fortunate enough to be taken in by the West African Voltron group, which is made up of some of the most powerful people in the world. I'm talking about actors and actresses.
What are you doing out here?
I got a job singing in Reno tomorrow. Don't
know better, do better. Dro had to put him in his lane. And my new job was trying to front of my benefits, and I was like, blam.
Politicians.
Mr. William Opeyemi Jawanda.
CEOs.
Rosenberg, give it up for my bro Abiola OK one time right now. OK Africa.
Founders of some of the biggest groups and movements in the world.
What we need now more than ever is a human rights movement that challenges systemic racism in every single context.
Our favorite award-winning teacher of financial empowerment, the budgetnista Tiffany Alice.
And so many other influential people that just happen to come out of West Africa. And my brother's actually a part of this group, so that's why I was able to be with them during this trip. And I can tell you, like, these type of people are people that you know. Like, they've been in movies that you've seen. They're the top of the biggest companies in the world. These people have definitely had an impact in your life one way or another, even if you didn't know it.
Uber is trying to move past recent scandals and the resignation of CEO Travis Kalanick. The ride-hailing giant hired Bozoma St. John, remember that name, as its chief brand officer last month to help turn around the $68 billion company.
And I was fortunate enough to be with this group during my time here in Lagos. So being with this amazing group of influential people, some of the most influential people in the world, it was only right that we stayed in one of the dopest places in all of West Africa. And this brings me to the next topic, which will be accommodations. So I already told you about Lekki Phase 1 and the house I was staying at with Akeem and that my cousin Malik was going to. All right, so dropped the bags off at the crib. Now we at Nancy's friend's crib. This place is crazy. Check it out. Check out the place real quick. So we upstairs, got the dope artwork. The TV, just like a little chill area. Got like a few bedrooms in that. I ain't gonna take it in the bedrooms, but it's like 4 up here, I think. Yeah, look at this artwork. Oh. This place was crazy, super dope, super fresh, super modern. So this is the place that I was staying with the West African Voltron crew. And this place, they call it the New Dubai. And this is why they call it that. So I was staying in this place for over a week, and anytime I brought anyone here, anyone from my friends to my family to anyone that Malik or anyone else knew, they would just be like, would you say this is the biggest pool you've seen in
This is the biggest pool I've ever seen in my life.
and jeez, wait, ever in any country, any continent?
Yes. I mean, I don't go to the Olympics, so I don't know.
This is the baddest apartment I've ever seen in Africa. On record.
Especially like the Uber drivers and the taxi drivers, whenever they came by, they're just like, what is this place now? You know we're on top of the Atlantic Ocean. So Echo Atlantic is actually built on top of the Atlantic Ocean. And a lot of people like did not know about this place, even if they lived in Lagos like their whole life. They just never really saw what was going on behind the construction walls. And when they enter this place, they get to this property, they're just like, oh man, this is mad. This is mad. And so through the Waves group, we're actually able to get this place thanks to Airbnb. Justina was actually the first person that I met and I was talking to that actually took care of me while I was here in Echo Atlantic. So thank you so much, Justina. And everyone else in the Waves group was super helpful. But if you're looking to go to Echo Atlantic, if you want to stay here, if you want to get information, make sure that you get in contact with Patrick. So anytime someone comes here, they're gonna meet you, right?
Yeah, they meet me, meet my staff. Jitaku, just so you want an apartment by Jitaku.
Yeah.
2-bedroom, 3-bedroom apartments.
So
the
you
best
guys-
apartments in Lagos, Nigeria.
Malik said, as everyone said that came here, like they've never seen anything like it. Like, oh
I've
man.
seen some nice places in Lagos, but this is like,
Sticks, huh?
yeah, man. This is definitely #1 up there for me.
He's the one that facilitated everything once we're there. He's super polite. He's super on the ball. So anytime you message him, like almost any time of the day, he'll get back to you. So yeah, if you're looking to book this place while you're here in Lagos, make sure you hit up Patrick. And thank you so much to Airbnb for hosting us during this stay. We had such an amazing time. Like I just couldn't give you the right words to explain the experience that I had here. All right, so now let's talk about something that we all need in our lives. I'm talking about food. So I know I'm gonna be very biased in saying this, but in my opinion, Nigerian food is the best food in the whole entire world. And I know people like to debate about this whole Jello rice thing.
Jollof is big.
Once you taste it, you feel the soul of Africa.
Jollof is what brings West Africans apart.
Africa is Mufasa and Jollof is Simba.
Seriously.
Okay?
You lift it up in the morning. Every morning, yeah?
Yeah, to all you Ghanaian people out there, I'm not saying your stuff is bad. I'm not saying that at all. It's just that Nigerian jollof is the greatest, and I'll just end it right there. But I can honestly say, like in my opinion, like my mom's cooking is some of the best cooking I've ever had in my entire life, and like a lot of times people just say that, but it's actually how I feel. So I was so excited to try food while I was down here in Lagos. Just because I know of the history and the culture of the food. Like, oh boy, was excited. Shout outs to moms, man, holding it down. Love you, mama. And sadly, during this trip, we just weren't home a lot because I was going to a lot of shows and parties and events with my cousin Malik, or I was out with the Waves group. So I didn't actually get to get any home cooking my whole time here, but I did visit a bunch of different restaurants, and I want to show you some of those right now. So literally from the first night that I was in Lagos, my friend Nancy is like, you have to have some suya. Like, I think I heard of suya before. I'm not sure if I ever had it. But everyone was talking about suya when I got to Lagos, and like I was trying my hardest to find it pretty much the whole time I was there. The first night we couldn't actually find it, and then I kind of forgot about it for a few days, but then it actually came to be. I forgot who from the Waves group actually bought it. So they were down by the pool and they're like, yo, we got the suya down here, where y'all at? And I was like, so I was running to get this stuff. And then my friend Bookie, she actually brought some suya for me and my cousins as well. And thank you so much for that. And then I forgot the name of the place she brought it from, but I'll probably write it on the screen. But they're saying this is the place that you have to get it from. Like, it's wrapped in newspaper, and like it's actually like from the place that you really need to get it from. It's like the authentic suya. And this stuff, shout outs to my boy Darnell, was banging.
talk about suya for about a week. And finally, I have the opportunity to try it, and it's worth it. So usually, apparently, people are eating the suya after the club.
Because they have a farm, so
but even now, it's what? It's 6 p.m. It's delicious. I can imagine after the club.
One really nice place, like probably one of the nicest places that I went to eat was this place called Shiro. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. So Shiro is an Asian cuisine place, I believe. Like, I don't think it's specific. I don't think it's just Thai or just Chinese or just Japanese. I think it's all type of Asian foods. And I had a lot of Thai food while I was here. And it was really good. But the most impressive thing about Shiro, in my opinion, even though the food is really great, was just the whole decor. Like, as soon as you walk in, they got a big sign that you can take pictures in front of, and then just like the whole ambiance of the place. They got like chandeliers, they got all of this dope stuff around, and then they got the outside bit, which is really nice. So right on the other side of the outside bit is the actual beach, so you can like walk on the beach while you're waiting for your food. And they have a bunch of events here and all this different stuff. So it's a really dope place to be with some really good food. So if you ever wanted to sit down for a nice meal, Shiro is a really good place to go. All right, and another place that I actually went with Bookie was a place called Ocean Basket. So I believe this is in VI in Victoria Island. And if you're American watching, like, I would kind of compare it to like an Applebee's, but kind of more of a seafood themed Applebee's. If you're in England, I would kind of compare it to Weatherspoons, but just a little bit more upscale than these establishments. But yeah, some really good food at some really good cost, and it's nice. You can like sit on top of the balcony and all that stuff and just enjoy your food. Enjoy your food. I said feud. It's food. Oh, and one of the last places that I got to eat during my time here in Lagos was this place called Terra Culture. I hope I'm saying it right. And the inside of Terra Culture is really interesting because like right when you walk in, I don't know if it's every night, but when I got there was like a band playing, and then it's got this really cool like staircase thing that leads upstairs. And connected to the buildings, actually this, I believe it's an art gallery or some type of art display thing that goes on there. And then upstairs they have an actual art gallery. They have art pieces that you can see and everything. And the food is really good. And this is the first time I had amala when I was in Nigeria. I think I've had it before. But I'm one of those like basic Nigerians. I normally just eat jollof rice and chicken or beef and plantain and all that stuff. Like, I don't eat too much fufu, even though that's my nickname, and all this other stuff. I'm normally just like, yeah, I'll take the jollof, the plantain, and yeah. But I had to have some amala before I left. And one really good thing that I had no idea about, I don't even think I heard of before, was Chapman. So it's like this red drink. I'm not exactly sure what's in it, but it's like kind of fruity. It might be mixed with like iced tea or something like that. But like, I was sitting at the table and they're like, I'm like, what's that drink? I was like talking to these people, like, oh, it's Chapman. I'm like, huh? They're like, it's Chapman. I was like, what's Chapman? Like, I had no idea what it was. I thought it was pretty funny how they looked at me like, you don't know what Chapman is? So for all you people watching, you should know what Chapman is before you go there. So let me tell you about this place called Belgium. So this was more towards the mainland. It wasn't in Victoria Island or anything like that. But like from the sounds of it, like my cousin Malik and my other cousin Akeem, like they were just like, oh boy, like this is some good stuff. So I heard that Belgium is the real deal. So for all my Americans out there, like you can only imagine, like when you go to Taco Bell, you're only gonna get a certain quality. You're only gonna get the super reproduced, inauthentic type of tacos. But it's like when your mama's cooking them tacos, or when your mama's cooking that home cooked meal, like you know it's the real deal. Or you go to that little La Tienda and get that real food. Like this is what it is. This is what that real home cooking is like in a restaurant. I could just tell from Malik and Akeem's faces, like when they're eating this food, like it was just like one of those, like those meals where you just don't talk, like you're just in there just like like all these emotions are just going through your head and your body, and you're just like overtaken by the power of the amala. Like that's what happened when they went to Belgium. So if you want that real deal authentic Nigerian food, you want to come to Belgium. All right, so now let's talk about what I spent most of my time doing while I was here in Nigeria, and that is concerts. Now, like I mentioned before in this video, everyone and their mama comes home during this time. And this includes musicians and artists. So like literally every single night I was out with Malik, and I seen everyone from Skepta to Burna Boy to YC to WizKid, and so many other people. And it's not just the Afrobeats artists that are out here during this time, and like Nigerian born artists. Also like Lil Baby was here. He did a show with Davido, I believe.
Chicken Alfredo and Africa. Yeah, big dog.
Straight from Gwinnett to Lagos.
And I'm sure there's a bunch of other people that came and performed that were just there enjoying their time down here in Lagos in December. Like, it's the place to be in December, if I haven't mentioned it enough by now. And all of these shows were so much fun. There was so much different energy that I got to see and be a part of being at these shows. And yeah, these concerts were so much fun. I just want to give you a little snippet of all of these different shows and concerts that I went to. Barry, what you saying? Where we going, bro? Where we going, bro?
We're going to vote.
Hey.
Yeah, I vote.
Hey. Hey.
Go let the beat drop. Yeah, 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 very fun this. Get cool with the weight now, now. To the early, yeah. More.
Whoa, what we doing though?
You guys give me 1 minute to get ready.
Where we at?
Echo Hotel Live.
Echo Miami?
Echo Miami.
Hey. That's where we're going? Yeah. What you say, Barry? Alright, so we outside the Made in Lego show. Malik's gonna go on like right now. Wiz is next, and then
ready for this one up.
Superstars in the building.
You give me life, you give me life. When you start to bust the wine, you give me love, you give me life. Get your hands cause they fight, me don't realize. So you they carry dynamite, you give me life, you give me life. When you start to wine, my body is your body, yeah.
So with the combination of everyone being home to see their family and no one really having to work during this time, you can only imagine the amount of parties that are being thrown during this time. Everywhere from house parties to beach parties to actual events. There's so much going on, and I actually got to go to a few pretty dope ones.
Yo, this place is insane. Yo, like I've never been to a place like this. Like Nigeria, Lagos. Like I've never seen a place where like the party can start so late and it just be so normal. Like look at the time right now. Look at the time. I'm still in bed. Like everyone's just on the way to get to this this party. So DJ Tunes is throwing like this party where WizKid's gonna be there and a bunch of other people and all that stuff. It's like 10 minutes from the place I'm staying right now. But look at the time. Look at the time right now. 1:34 a.m. Yo, they don't play out here with these parties during Christmas. I don't know if it's all year like this, but right now it's like Christmas time, December, whatever. Christmas in Lagos, a mad thing. Before I go, I learned one thing. So my Yoruba and my Pidgin is atrocious, but I learned one thing that everyone says. So like in the States, we would say something like what's poppin' or what's good. Out here they say alpha, alpha. Like at first I thought everyone was saying how far. Like I thought everyone was really concerned about how far everyone was, but it's not the case. I'm probably saying it wrong still, but it's something like alpha.
Think that tres.
chilling. I know this is gonna go global because I know I'm gonna see on YouTube
all day.
So make me famous
all day.
Hey, Jabril, you're missing out for that.
Yo, what's your IG handle?
My IG handle is Bizzle Oshikoya. Bizzle Osikoya. Follow me now. Lagos is lit.
And then also the restaurant that I talked about, Shiro. So Shiro holds some really dope events, a really nice venue. And yeah, so at this party there was a lot of superstars. So you had P Square here, obviously my cousin Malik, and so another friend that I met here on this trip, Alton. So he's like a model for some of the biggest fashion brands. He does like the runways and like the fashion weeks and all that type of stuff, and he does a whole bunch of other cool stuff. But yeah, but there's so many dope people here that I connected with and that I just saw, and a lot of power players in the house. So the West African Voltron Waves group, they actually came through to the same party. So like I was in between like partying with my cousin Malik and like all of that crew, and then also with the Waves group. And even though these parties are fire, like you will leave like just exhausted, your shirt will be drenched in sweat. Even though these parties are super lit and you cannot miss them, they are nothing compared to a real Nigerian wedding. So my whole idea shooting this video was to make this one long whole video, but after cutting the voiceover, it was gonna be like over an hour, so I didn't want to have to make you guys sit through that entire thing. So what I want to do now is give some big thank yous that I did at the end of the video, but this is the end of this video. So first and foremost, got to give a huge shout out to my brother Jabril. He's the whole reason this whole thing happened. Huge shout out to Malik for hosting me pretty much the whole time, taking care of me, doing pretty much everything and beyond for me on this trip to make it special. Thank you to Moyinwa, Bankuli, Zamani, Akeem, DJ Ferrari Frost, Junior. All you guys like really took care of the boy. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Nancy and Bookie, you guys also took care of me. Like I've had some good times with you guys going out and exploring. And also big shout out to the Waves Voltron group. I would not have been able to do like half of the things I was during my time here in Lagos if it wasn't for you guys, so thank you so much. So watch out for part 2. Part 2 we got coming real soon, and this is where I'm breaking down the beaches, I'm breaking down the art, the history, and the whole story behind Lagos. It's not just a place to come and party and do all that stuff. Even though it is one of the best places in the world to do that in December, there's so much more to that. There's so much history to Lagos, and that's what I want to show you guys in the second video, so watch out for that. And just to make sure, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit that notification bell, and if you're watching on Facebook, hit that like button, so as soon as I drop this video, you guys will be first to be notified. That's it. I don't want to make this video any longer, but thank you guys so much. I'm out. Peace.
Crazy, right? And so he's got me so gassed for December in Lagos this year. Make sure you come out. Also Ghana. And so we're all pulling up even deeper this year. And you know we're gonna make a Passport Heavy movie. And so make sure you subscribe. Part 2 is on the way soon. And like I said, go show that boy, Mr. Fufu, Abnormal Fitness some love. Anyways, I'm out of here. I hope you enjoyed. Peace.